Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about staying fit during the holidays. It's one of the biggest questions I get because, let's face it, it is a very difficult time for several reasons. So you've got days off, you've got family coming into town, you really want to just enjoy yourself, and that's great. The problem is that we don't know how to stop ourselves, right? So it all starts with Halloween, okay? Go out trick-or-treating, or your kids go out trick-or-treating, they bring home all this candy. Oh, we're gonna eat candy for a day. And then what? The next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and it just keeps going on and on and on. It's a vicious cycle, right? Okay, so then what? 3 weeks later, here comes Thanksgiving. So you got the candy out of the house, you're done with it, but you're like, man, I really need to get back on track and get it together, right? Thanksgiving rolls around, you enjoy your meal, have a good time with your friends and family, and then you have a ton of leftovers. And then you keep picking up the leftovers. Am I right? It happens, right? And then you go into Christmas and you go into New Year's, and before you know it, you have put on at least 5 pounds out of nowhere, and you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, how did I let this happen? Number one. Number two, okay, my resolution this year is I'm going to try to lose all this holiday weight that I gained. And to me, because I get it, I don't think that you need to do that this year. That's just my honest opinion. The reason is because I'm going to give you a couple tips, some tricks, some tools, some strategies, if you will, that will help to kind of guide you and give you some ways to combat this holiday weight gain. You know, it's kind of silly when you think about it. You have worked hard all year to get this killer bikini body, or to run faster, or to lift heavier, to put on muscle, whatever it is. You had these goals all year, okay? And with these goals, there's training and there's nutrition involved. So why all of a sudden, because, oh, it's the holiday season, are you gonna throw all this out the window? Because if you start eating like crap, guess what? You're not gonna be lifting as heavy. You're not gonna be as fast in your run. You're gonna gain back that weight, right? So here's a couple things that I want you to think about. All right, I want you to set a limit for yourself, okay? So we've got Thanksgiving coming up now. So once you have your Thanksgiving meal, that's it. Enjoy it, okay? Enjoy it. But the next day, the next week, don't be eating turkey sandwich leftovers, mashed potatoes, all this stuff. No, that's silly. Okay, get back onto your typical routine. That if you've had a clean eating routine, if you've just been eating fresh food that you're making at your house each day, that's fine. Keep sticking to that. The problem is when you just fall completely off track. It's hard to get back on track, right? If you are someone who's been hitting the gym, let's say you go 4 or 5 times a week, just because it's the holiday season, don't stop that train. Do not stop that train from rolling. Okay, so what you do is you wake up earlier. You've got family coming into town. Guess what? If they're in town, you wake up even earlier before them. You get in your training and you get on with your day. It doesn't have to be a big fuss and like in the middle of the day, oh, I have to go to the gym. No, you make the time if you want to, okay? The easier it gets is by just sticking to what you know, okay? Because it's a habit. And if you start breaking these habits, guess what? You're going to have to start them all over again. And you know how hard it is. Once you commit to something and it becomes a habit, that's when it's easy. But it's always the time when you have to start and you're like, okay, you know, the beginning is the hardest. So don't put yourself through the struggle, through the drama. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Long story short, okay? When it comes to Thanksgiving, I want you to drink a glass of water like 15 minutes before you go ahead and start having your meal. The reason is because it's just going to fill up your stomach a little bit more. And by doing that, you're going to feel fuller faster and you're not going to consume as many calories. Hopefully. We should hope so, right? Also, you're probably going to be tired afterwards. So rather than plopping down on the couch, go ahead and take like a 15-20 minute walk. All it'll do is just boost your metabolism and just bring someone with you. You know, you guys can talk about family, about the festivities, the holidays, what you're planning, your vacations. But don't just make this a time to just like sit down and forget about everything that you've been working for. Okay, if you think about your health and your fitness as part of your lifestyle, as an investment in yourself, an investment in your future and your family, it becomes a lot easier. Because a lot of us take fitness as something that is very physical, in the sense of we do it for the aesthetics that we get, right? Because we want to look good, we want to feel good. But when you start thinking about how important it is to your health and all the health benefits that you get from eating good food that isn't saturated in fat, food that isn't high in sugar, right? And also how you actually feel. And then when you think about how good it is just for you to be active, you know, your heart health is going to be better. Just everything in general, you're going to have more energy. So these are a couple of the little tips and tricks. Really, it's just about staying on track to what you've been doing. Okay, don't let yourself fall off completely, and just know when to say no. And then you should be good. Okay, I'll give you guys a couple more tips later on, but I just had like a little ring it. I don't know, I was just like, gosh darn it, I just want to just preach, get it on out there. If you guys have any questions, please follow me on Facebook at Angelus Burke Bikini, or on my personal page, Angelus Burke. Although on Instagram, I'm Angelus Burke, and the same thing on Twitter. I have a website and also a blog up, and I also have plenty of tips and tricks on Celsius.com. If you click on the blog tab, there is all sorts of nutrition, training, just healthy living ideas that you can find there. And I hope that some of this stuff does help you out. If you have any questions, like I said, please reach out to me. I love helping you guys out, and thank you guys for all the continued support, and happy holidays.